All you have to do is check one of the million real estate websites out there to know that Toronto's real estate market is booming right now. And today we're going to chat about the 4 GTA neighborhoods that deliver the biggest return on your investment. Joining me is Mark McLean. Mark, now you are... you're saying that this is the new normal.
Yeah, I really believe it. There's a lot of things that would lead me to believe that this is kind of something that we're going to have to get used to. We're a city on the move. We're hundreds of thousands of people coming to the city every year. We're bounded geographically. We're kind of boxed in. And if you can't grow out, you tend to grow up. And so I think that that's a bit of a changing landscape for us.
And we're starting to see people who would have normally gone for maybe townhomes, semi-detached, are now all going into condos because that's all that, first-time home buyers like I was several years ago, that's all we can afford.
Yeah, it's really shifted. It's come from this, people thinking, well, I want to have this little detached house in the city with a backyard and parking. It's now gone to vertical living. And I think that if you look at sort of the statistics, the number, the value of condos in that sort of $500,000 to $700,000 range has really gone through the roof. And we're seeing a lot of multiple offers in that range now, too.
So the first neighborhood that you really get your great bang for your buck is the Canary District.
Yeah, I really love this neighborhood because it's essentially brand new. I mean, it's just been thrown in, and the city's worked really hard to rebuild this neighborhood. And so, great place. This is a place where it's essentially a brand new neighborhood. And so, get in on the ground floor, and great condos, very clean, modern lines, and a nice, strong community being built there.
And if anybody doesn't know where that is, the Canary District is just east of the Distillery District.
That's right, yeah, and it's just at the bottom of the Don River.
It's beautiful. I live near there, so I go through it all the time. Now, we also got the East End, Danforth, and Main board, so let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I like this neighborhood because a lot of bungalows, if you sort of go further north of that corner.
You can have a backyard.
Yeah, you could actually have a backyard, but there's a lot of development going on there, and what I find is that when people start to bring developments into a neighborhood, it generally makes the whole neighborhood rise. So, where it once was a little bit dirty and transient, it's now really become a very strong neighborhood.
The third neighborhood, West End, we've got Lansdowne and DuPont Ward.
Yeah, interesting. I have a friend who owns a little restaurant down there, and 3 years ago there was nothing going on there, and now you're seeing these new condos, a few new condos, but some great renovations and restaurants and real sort of community that's sort of built in there.
And it's interesting. And before we get to the fourth neighborhood, sometimes when you're buying into these up-and-coming neighborhoods, there isn't a lot going on in that particular moment. So that could be something where buyers will go, but I don't want to be here because there's nothing going on. So as a real estate agent yourself and as somebody who manages so many, I think it was, you said you have 60 in your company, how do you educate buyers? How do you tell people, hey, give it a year or two?
A classic example is Brooklyn. This is the Brooklyn effect in full force. I mean, if you can't afford Manhattan, you go across the river and you move into, and so this is what's happening in Toronto. And so people who, let's say, couldn't get into High Park or Roncesvalles were pushing north into that neighborhood like Lansdowne and DuPont.
And the last one, West Queensway and Islington condos.
Yeah, kind of an forgotten neighborhood. But if you drive out through, out west through Queensway, for instance, you're amazed by the number of condos and stacked townhomes that are out there. So great place to get in, and of course, you're right there. You're right on the highway, so you can jump on and get in and out really quickly.
So last thing, okay. So let's talk about National Real Estate Day here for a second. What is this for people like us that maybe have never heard of it before?
Well, National Real Estate Day is really this a day that we've kind of built out to really celebrate the value of home ownership. And it's important for people to understand that home ownership is such a valuable part of our lives. It makes healthy homes, and it creates long-term value and prosperity for us, and the economic spin-offs that come with owning a home. It's super important, and we need to let everyone know that that we can't be overlooked.
Right. So we can find you on Twitter, right, at TREB Home.
That's right, TREB Home, and we're doing a little chat up today. We want people to go in and give us their stories on what's going on in how real estate has improved their lives.
Amazing. And by the way, if you're given the choice, okay, so do you wait or do you buy now? What do you do?
So I have two sayings, which is number one, buy land because they're not making any more of it, and I'd rather buy real estate and wait rather than wait to buy real estate.
Amazing. Mark, thank you so much. At TREB Home on Twitter. And for more information on this, go to breakfasttelevision.ca. We will be right back.